What's that? What is that? Well, it's a tranny, of course, as apocalyptic art through the garden. Right? There's things that are being used in the best way that they know how to be used. While right now, right? I mean, for right now, because if we just bury these things, then the possibilities are gone forever. But what is that? What's that? What's that? Okay. What is that? Can you name all the edible foods that you're seeing here? What's this? What is this? This is an container. Do you haul away all of your weeds and pay to get rid of them at a landfill? Or do you make your own fertilizer at home by putting them in a bucket with water and time? And what's that? What is that? That is a step. It's a step that we can take, and if we stay on the steps that are on a pathway of where we want to be, we end up getting there, right? And if they're hot, you don't spend too much time on them. What's that? It's food, right? Did you know that that's food? Most people call it a weed. They pull it out of the ground and they get rid of it. And then they take a vitamin C pill. But like these little flowers, they're delicious. They're absolutely delicious. And see these are like little pea pods, or not like pea pods. They look like little tiny watermelons. I don't know if this camera sucks, but whatever. You gather those up and you can eat them, and they're free from the source. And what is that? What is that? Oh, it's growing there too. And what's that? Oh, we're back on our pathway. And more food. All right, more food's growing. And is that a food for you? No, not that I know of. But it's a food for bees, and the bees, they've liked it, so I leave it. And what's this? What is this? Oh my goodness, this is an ugly old Bronco. Ugly Bronco that I bought for $1,200 on Craigslist about 12 years ago. I just haven't gotten around to making it exactly the way I want it, but now it runs good and it stops good and it has the ability of pulling itself out. And they only made this style of Bronco for 2 years. So it makes it a collector's item. And so mechanically, it's gotten better. And now that maybe I want to spend a little time on it, maybe aesthetically it'll get a little bit better. But, around here, you don't want your things looking too nice because, like in the, what is that? There's some literature from China, the Tao Te Ching or something like that. Tao Te Ching. I don't know. I don't speak Chinese, so but it talks about that, right? It talks about how if you have really nice things, you might suffer because people will look to steal them, or they look they look at you as they look up to you because of what you drive, not the expression of who you are, right? And so that's where we shouldn't really judge books by their cover, but we should ask why a lot more. Because why would I buy an ugly old Bronco? Because it used to be uglier than this, and it had ripped up seats, and now it's got some pretty fancy seats that are comfortable to ride in. It's it's safe now to drive. Before it was getting pretty dangerous, and I think that's why they felt overwhelmed by the amount of work that was going to be needing to be done to make this thing safe again. But that's the thing is the work isn't really that bad because when you're tearing apart one system, you're you're tearing apart that part of the system. And when you tear apart that part of the system, when you just put it back together, you just use new parts, and that makes it pretty nice. Um, there's a lot of things on a vehicle, right? But most things, they're just there. There's nothing really to be to go bad with it unless you bump into somebody or you leave mud or acid on the surface for too long, right? But are we still recording? We are. Good. Okay. Um, but so buying collector vehicles and fixing them up, and then I mean you have the ability of turning it around for a pretty good profit, and it's just something you can do at home. You can do it out here in the desert without even a roof over your head. Summertime, you want to do a lot of it at nighttime because then it's nice and cool and the wind's not blowing so much. Anyway, I've always asked, why is that? What's that? What's going on? I've been the question guy, but I've found a lot of answers, and it's made my life a lot better than it used to be. So anyway, if you like this content, thanks for watching, and share and subscribe and do all those things that makes it available to other people.